Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last channeling of this month around the theme of transformation and change. So today I'm connecting in with one of my favorite beings to connect with. And I know I always say this, but the Butterfly Maiden has a very special place in my heart because her energy is so vibrant, so livening, and is all about new beginnings, that start of something that's fresh and bright and spring-like. And I've always been very, very partial to spring, and it is nearly springtime, finally, and I'm also feeling extremely excited about that specific time that is coming up. I'm very fortunate to live on a very temperate island where already, unlike the rest of the country, we've got cherry blossoms and snowdrops and daffodils and all sorts of other flowers that are bursting up and out of the ground. And so, what better time, especially with this theme this month, to be connecting in with the Butterfly Maiden? Though, if you've never connected with her before, she is wonderful to connect with at any point, especially when you're feeling a little bit sluggish, a bit slow, a little bit like you're moving through mud or you're stuck. It could be just that feeling in general, or it could be on a specific creative project or whatever you're doing. And she's wonderful to call in if you never have before. And she just brings this whoosh of new energy, literally quite a whoosh. It's a just rush, like air coming in almost, is the sense that I get when she comes into my space. It's just this breath of fresh air, to use that very cliche phrase, and yet it's extremely fitting for how she feels when she comes into my space, and then how her coming into my space really kicks up all that stagnant energy and releases it so that then there's room for all these wonderful new things. Huh, okay. She's saying to me now she does have something different from what she knows I was thinking she may speak on, which is transformation and change. Ooh, I am curious now. She's saying, be patient. And she says, welcome, my dear sisters and brothers. It is a pleasure to share this moment with each and every one of you. For I have a reminder for each of you that although you have been thinking upon change, on transformation, which are energies that move, that bring to each of your minds ideas of doing, of accomplishing, of going forward, that many of you have been raised in this lifetime to see change as something that must be active, that must be you taking steps and doing something accomplishing a list. And as such, it has given you the perception that not doing something is not changing. That standing still, literally or metaphorically, is not changing. My reminder to each of you today is just as I told this dear one. Patience can bring more change than charging forward and forcing it, demanding it. You do not need to force or demand anything. Energy is flow. It is water. It is air. It is earth. And if you watch the growth of a seed into a flower, there is no forcing. There is a slow and quiet growth that may seem like nothing is happening at first, until a stalk bursts out of the ground. But to get it to that point, it is resting, it is incubating within the loam of this earth. And so too must each of you remember and allow yourselves to be a seed, to practice when you sit in stillness, when you walk in stillness through nature, to not sit or walk with an intention, with a goal, with a direction. Let go of the need to have a reason or a purpose, to have a drive. Let go of all of that. And instead, be still, whether you sit physically in stillness or your mind rests in stillness, even as your body may move. And in these moments, pay attention to what you feel. And if you begin to have doubts, you begin to have judgments about doing nothing or no purpose, grasp those thoughts. Acknowledge them. Tell them that you see them, but you no longer wish to live your life being driven forward, forcing yourself to move forward. You do not need to force anything. The need to force things is only a perception. So release those thoughts. Tell them you are letting them go. You may call upon me, and I can take them from you, or call upon any who you are connected with and ask them to take those thoughts from you. And then, in the space made by those thoughts, fill yourself with light. Imagine light. See light. For you are light. Light is energy. And light, which is in all that is, does not have to move forward. It does not go anywhere. It has no end or beginning. It simply is. It exists. It is your perception and your use of it that gives it the illusion of movement and of growth. But it is just as you are. And so fill yourself where you have removed thoughts that you no longer wish to have with light. Hold that light within you. Let that light just sit. Feel that light. Acknowledge how it feels. And if, as you do this, you yet still have thoughts of judgment and doubt, let go of those thoughts. Release them. Ask them to be taken away and fill the space with light. And the more you let yourself be still and be light, the more you will see that you are growing, that you are changing. And this change and this growth is happening without you forcing it, without you making a list, without you checking and crossing off things that you have done or you haven't done. You are growing. And like a seed planted in the fresh tilled earth, remember, growth happens even if it's not visible. It will become visible one day. But do not demand, do not expect, do not judge the when, the where, or the how of this visible growth. Simply hold the light within you, feed yourself with light, fill yourself with light, and in doing this, you will feed the change that is always happening within you. Be still, dear ones, and remember your light. Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Butterfly Maiden. Thank you. All right, so I feel like we now all have some things to go and just be aware of as we go about the last few days of this short month and we move into spring. So wonderful. So I will see all of you next time. And until then, happy coming spring and happy almost March, and just have a wonderful and happy rest of your day or evening. Goodbye for now.